Hello, this is your girl, Dr. Brianna Boss James, aka Dr. Boss, the founder and CEO of She Bossin' Up and P31X. Listen, welcome to the carpet. If you're in a position to do so, go ahead, light a candle or something, grab your favorite beverage, and let's get into this thing on today. Today I want to share with you how to overcome distractions and increase and maintain focus. So, it seems as though our ability to focus these days has been dramatically reduced over time. I know for me, it feels like anything and everything seeks to keep me from what I've decided to, what I've declared to do, what I have intended to do. Do you have that same problem? Now, I am completely aware that we do walk in our God-inspired calling, and when we walk that way, the enemy of our soul does seek to try to throw all types of things to knock us off course. Yet at the same time, I'm also very aware, as I'm sure you are, that we're distracted for various reasons of our own accord, things that we do. Distractions are everywhere. And the crazy part is, a lot of the distractions that we face are actually designed to be distractions, to keep you focused on what the creator of those distractions wants you to focus on. So, of course, you already know social media and any form of entertainment, TV, sports, anything that zones you in are the prime culprits. It's beyond easy to get caught up in scrolling and binging. I know I am a binge person. The only difference is I binge maybe like one day a week for the few hours that I binge, and then that's it. There is no other binging. Because distractions themselves can become addictive, and before you know it, you're not being productive in your God-inspired calling, and you're definitely not taking actions towards the goals and the dreams that you declared that you desire to have. The fulfillment of our desires suffer and are delayed every single time we indulge in things that distract us from what we should be focusing on in that moment. Right now, it is time to boss up, to focus your focus, and to keep it moving. Claire Yoza, author of The Little Book of Daily Sunshine, wrote, "If you focus on what you don't want, then that's where you'll keep steering your ship." So look, whatever you focus on, you feed. Therefore, you want to make sure you're focusing your focus on the focus itself. So the thing that will keep you focused. So you forge the habit of focusing. I know that's a lot of focus right there. All right, so here are some strategies that we're going to use to help you get more focus and then to maintain your focus, because it's easy to start in focus. It's maintaining the focus is where people get off track. Now listen, I'm going to start these strategies where you absolutely might not think, okay? You need to be intentional about eating healthier foods, okay? And of course, drinking healthier drinks. Yes, it's way to the left, but your body and your brain function better when you eat and even drink healthier. A healthy diet improves your focus. So start paying attention to what happens to your body when you eat certain foods or drink certain drinks. Then you'll be able to determine what is helping you versus what is hindering you. So I started doing this a few years back, and then I realized that it doesn't matter. I absolutely love toasted, like buttery toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. If you have not tried it, let me tell you, it is the best thing ever. But I noticed that every time I eat one of those just lovely sandwiches, it's full-blown nap time. There's no focus, just absolute fatigue. It's insane. So Healthline.com suggests a few items that can help boost your brain power. So we have fatty fish like salmon, trout, albacore tuna, and sardines. Ugh. Coffee and green tea. Now, I'm sure the coffee drinkers of the world absolutely appreciate it that coffee has made the list. And even though, people can say some things about coffee, there are antioxidants in coffee. And then, of course, the caffeine itself gives you that little boost that you need to help kind of get you going. And it does keep you focused. Now, you want to make sure that you moderate your intake because caffeine can have negative effects on your body over time. One of my favorites is blueberries. So they're full of antioxidants and they have anti-inflammatory effects, which most definitely I love. You have broccoli that's packed with vitamin K, and then you have pumpkin seeds that are full of zinc and magnesium, iron, and copper. Okay? So focus on your food. Take the time to see as you're eating and then you're drinking, see what the different types of food and beverages do to your body. Number 2, just say no to multitasking. So in order for it to be focusing, you have to be engaged in a single activity. One thing at a time, not multiple. Single tasking will outweigh multitasking every single time. I used to think it didn't, but don't fool yourself into thinking that you'll get more done trying to do multiple things. It takes way more brain power switching back and forth between tasks than just stopping, picking one thing to do, creating the space to do that thing, and then completing that thing, and then moving on to the next thing. You want to set your priorities and then complete them in the order in which is necessary for you to get things done, which is most productive. Number 3, you want to engage in deep focus activities when your performance is at its best. Don't wait until the end of the day. If that's not the time for you, don't do it in the morning if that's not the time for you. You have to make sure you, again, study, learn who you are and how your body works, so that way you can do what's best for you. Now, there are studies that say you focus better in the mornings, so I can suggest that, and I can confirm that my new peak time is definitely in the mornings. Back in the day, I had serious focus after 9 o'clock in the evening. I don't know, fires were cracking, everything was flowing, and it was good. Present day, 9 p.m. is wind down time. That is not peak focus time. So again, take time to learn who you are and how your body ticks and flows, so then that way you can determine what are your peak times of the day in which your focus is better. All right? Also try setting a timer when you're doing your focus task. You don't want to stop until the time ends. This is how you're going to start building your focusing and engaging in those deep focus activities. You can start with 15 minutes. Then maybe after a few days, increase it by another 15 minutes to 30 minutes at a time. And then a few more days go by, add another 15 to make it 45. And then just kind of keep going until you get to that point where you're like, okay, this is it. I have 0 more focus time. And just to see how long you can sit down and go and just intently, just nonstop, just go with it and be focused on that thing. Number 4. One of the best things that you can do for yourself is to remove the distractions. Make life easier for yourself, okay? You want to remove as many distractions as possible. Put your phone away, turn it over, put it on silent, whatever you need to do. Turn off the TV, turn off websites, close your computer tabs if you don't need them. Whatever you're working on that is not complementary to what you're working on, turn it off. If sounds will distract you, go ahead, turn those off. There are some people that the radio is everything for them and they flow with it. Other people, the radio on, they're completely distracted. So again, do what works best for you. Now I can tell you, I didn't really realize how much a distraction like the TV was until one day I had intended. I said, Saturday morning, this is great. I do want to watch some TV, but I need to get these graphics done. And I decided that I wanted to get 20 done. Now, more than enough time on a whole Saturday to get 20 graphics created. Just 20 little tiny graphics on Canva. Very simple. Now, with complete focus, just on the computer, doing the 20, knocking it out, I should have and could have been done in 2 hours. Okay? Hear me now. 2 hours, 20 graphics. After 5 hours of binge watching TV and literally tinkering with the graphics, I completed a whopping 2 graphics. It was utterly shameful. When I realized what took place, all I can do in that moment was to say, okay, The night now at this point is a wash because now it was hitting around about 9, 10 o'clock at night. So there was nothing else was cracking, nothing. I was like, okay, we're going to do this again another day. But lesson learned, when we have things to do, we're going to get them done and we're going to focus on those things. No TV. I can do like noise and music in the background, but television, I absolutely cannot do. Shameful. 5 hours, 2 graphics. Should have been done with 20 and 2. Pay attention to what you do when you do what you do to see how, as you're blending different things, if one is taking more of your attention than the other thing that you need to get done is taking your attention. Next one, number 5, is get enough sleep. Sleep is completely important to your focus and your energy. So they say your brain needs at least 7 hours of sleep to be at its best. And it's also good to have a consistent time in which you go to bed. I know myself, I am peak at a good 5 or 6 hours, but I do have a roundabout time that I go to bed since I wake up early. And then that way it allows my body to start to settle in really nicely. So what you can do, again, all this is about learning more about yourself and how you can help yourself grow and develop. Try sleeping for 7 hours each night for a good week, and then see how that helps your body. Then maybe the next week, do a little less. And then maybe the week after that, do a little more. And see how your body feels with the different levels of sleep. I know I'm one of those people, if I get like 9 hours of sleep, which I don't think has ever hardly happened in my life, it's bad. I am cranky, groggy. It's horrible. If I wake up in the morning, 5 o'clock, and then I go back to sleep and try to wake up at 6, I'm a monster. It's bad. It is not a good thing. When I wake up, I need to get up. There is no waking up later, no snoozing. I have to get up, or else the rest of my day literally is shot. So again, take some time, study you to see how it goes and how your body flows with the different levels of sleep also. And then that will help you be able to improve your focus and your concentration, being able to do things that you need to do. Number 6, this one's going to be a great surprise for you. When it comes to focus, being bored, boredom is boss. Let me tell you, when you're like really focused in on what it is that you're doing, and just think about how you get when you're focused in, it can become really, really boring depending on what you're doing. And so you have to choose what it is that you're going to do. Are you going to continue in the thing that you say you need to do, or you're going to allow yourself to slowly or even quickly drift into something else? And the reality is most of us choose to distract ourselves because we just don't like the boredom. You got to embrace boredom. Boredom is a good thing when it comes to focus. So as you learn to navigate boredom, it's easier to avoid the distractions that come while you're trying to work. Now, there's a lot of different things you can do. You can spice up the task you're doing. Again, you know what it is that you're doing. There could be ways to make it a little more spunkier. There might not be. It depends. I know there are times where I do use the alarm thing, and I set myself in, I'm up to the point where now I can do hour bursts. So I'll put on YouTube, there's this binaural wave thing, and I'll put that on. It's a straight hour long. I put that on, and as long as I hear that noise, that is what I'm doing. As soon as that noise is done, if I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a lot, I am done. It is break time, on to something else. Then I can come back to whatever I was doing. That works very well for me. Praying for focus and alertness. Do it all the time. So that way I have God working with me. We're together in this thing. And let me tell you, he makes it happen for me. Now, like I said, if necessary, again, find good stop points for you. And if it's just stop points in the exact same task, again, set an alarm, 15 minutes, hone in, focus hard, and then stop. And then get back to it, focus hard for another 15, 20, and then stop. Whatever you need to do, but just to make sure that you're accomplishing what it is that you said you want to accomplish in the time you want to accomplish it. As much as you can, that is what the goal should be. I mean, I know I have these times where I am writing and it's just mind-numbing. I write for the time periods and then I'm good. I do the same things now with graphics, so I don't have to worry about the distractions of the TV because I don't turn the TV on anymore while I'm doing graphics. And even doing the graphics, it's fun and I enjoy it, but sometimes that gets bored because after I've been doing it for a while, it's like, I'd like something else to do. But I make sure that I keep myself in the time frames as much as possible, and I've eliminated every other distraction that I can think of. So that way I can focus. And then if I've paused, I'll take the time and I'll set an alarm and I'll get back to it and keep refreshing it. So don't be afraid. Don't be antsy. Don't be anything negative about being bored while you're doing your focus task. Sometimes it can be bored, but if you allow yourself to be bored just for a moment, you will accomplish a many of things that you need to do. Number 7, which is our final, is plan time for the distractions that you love. So again, pay attention to what you do when you're distracted. What are those distractions that, keep you from doing what you want to do? You don't have to give them up. You just need to set a schedule for them. Make time for the things that you want to do. You love TV, watch your TV. Just don't watch TV when you should be creating or producing or reading or writing or doing whatever it is that you need to do to achieve your goal. If you want to just sit there mindlessly and stare at the wall, because that's what you want to do and you enjoy staring at the wall, baby, stare at the wall, but just stare at the wall again once you've done what you've needed to do. Go ahead, work first, then play, whatever it is. Give yourself a reasonable time frame, put that thing together, and literally go ham with it. It doesn't matter what it is. Scroll, binge, whatever it is. Life is too short to spend all your time focusing and working and grinding and all this hustle and all that stuff. Life's too short for that. You want to actually enjoy life while you're working in and towards what it is that you're doing. All the time. Enjoy life to its fullest. That's in points of focus. And when you've set aside time for the things that you like to do, that when you're doing them in the midst of focus is a distraction. But when you set time for them, they just become enjoyable life activities. Okay? Life is a never-ending series of consistent and constant distractions. The most successful people have taught themselves, and they have sacrificed even what they want in the moments that they get distracted. They sacrifice what they want for what it is that they know they need to do. So they have learned to focus in spite of distractions. It takes mindfulness, practice, lots of intentional prayer on focus, okay? Incorporate the tips above that we just talked about into your daily schedule, and you'll see your ability to focus and to grow. And you already know the deal. It is time to get going now. So I'm going to encourage you, the very next thing that you need to focus on, go ahead, pick one or all of these tips and just go with it and see how they work for you. See if you're able to focus more. See if you've identified when you're doing specific tasks, at what point of the task do you lose focus. See what your body does while you're eating certain kinds of foods. Make sure you know yourself very intimately. So then that way you can adjust as you need to adjust. Take the steps now to eliminate distractions. One is your next time to focus and really begin focusing on your focus. It's time for you to get bossy and to keep it bossy. Go boldly overcome this particular struggle and setback. Get focused.